The massive alien ship appeared without warning, materializing just beyond Mars' orbit. Its hull gleamed like polished obsidian under the distant sunlight, stretching nearly 10 miles from end to end. Inside the vessel, Lord Commander Axis of the Dominion watched the blue planet with cold satisfaction. These humans, with their primitive satellites and clumsy rockets, would be an easy conquest. In his underground office beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Thomas Reed stared at the emergency alert flashing on his screen. After decades of preparation, it had finally happened. First contact, but not the peaceful kind they had hoped for. His weathered fingers moved swiftly across the control panel, entering a series of commands that hadn't been used outside of drills. "Sir," his aide appeared on the screen. "The Dominion vessel is broadcasting on all frequencies. They're demanding to speak with Earth's leaders." Reed nodded slowly. "Tell the UN Secretary to proceed as planned. Protocol Sleeping Giant is now active." Across the globe, hidden systems hummed to life. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, ancient machinery stirred. In the frozen wastes of Antarctica, thermal readings began to spike. But on the surface, everything remained calm. Commercial flights continued. Social media buzzed with speculation about the alien ship. Military bases maintained their regular patrols with outdated aircraft and vessels. The UN Assembly Hall was packed when the Dominion's holographic ambassador appeared. The alien stood 8 feet tall, its segmented armor gleaming with an inner light. 4 arms were crossed across its chest in what might have been a gesture of superiority. "People of Earth," the ambassador's voice boomed through the hall, translated perfectly into every known human language. "I speak for the Dominion of 10,000 stars. We have observed your civilization and found it worthy of absorption into our empire." Murmurs filled the hall. The UN Secretary General, following the script prepared decades ago, stepped forward. "And if we refuse?" The alien's mouthparts twitched in what might have been amusement. "Your species possesses primitive fission weapons. Your space vessels cannot even reach your own system's outer planets. Your defenses are negligible. Refusal would be unfortunate." In his command center, Admiral Reed watched the broadcast with dozens of other military leaders from around the world. His eyes moved to another screen showing the Dominion vessel's position. Their arrogance was exactly what humanity had planned for. "How long do we have to consider your offer?" the Secretary General asked, his voice trembling perfectly. "You have 48 of your Earth hours," the ambassador declared. "Choose wisely. Submission means survival. Resistance means extinction." The hologram vanished. Reed pressed a button on his console. "All stations, initiate Phase 1. I want every sleeper cell activated. All deep-sea facilities on standby. Lunar Base Shadow, begin power-up sequence." Acknowledgments flooded in from hidden facilities around the world. Humanity had spent over 70 years preparing for this moment, ever since the first alien artifact was discovered in 1985. While the world's population remained unaware, generations of scientists and soldiers had worked in secret, developing technologies that would match or exceed anything an alien race might bring to Earth. "Admiral," his aide appeared again. "The Dominion ship is scanning the planet. Their energy readings suggest weapons charging." Reed allowed himself a small smile. "Let them scan. Our stealth systems will show them exactly what they expect to see. A primitive world with basic defenses and no hope of resistance." The next 48 hours would be crucial. While the world's governments publicly debated the Dominion's ultimatum, the real preparations would take place in secret, deep beneath the oceans, inside hollow mountains, and on the dark side of the moon. Humanity's true fleet waited. "Send word to Captain Walker," Reed ordered. "Tell him to begin warming up the Hyperion's engines. If these aliens want a show of force, we'll give them one they'll never forget." The pieces were in place. The trap was set. All that remained was for the Dominion to make their first move, unaware that they had already lost the element of surprise. Humanity's greatest deception was about to bear fruit. and the galaxy would never be the same. 3 miles beneath the Pacific Ocean, Captain James Walker stood before the massive doors of Site Omega. For decades, this facility had waited in silence, its true purpose known only to a select few. Now, as emergency lights pulsed along the corridor walls, that wait was finally over. "All systems are online," Captain reported his second-in-command, Lisa Brown. Her fingers flew across the control panel, entering activation codes that had been passed down through 3 generations of her family. "The reactor is at 60% and climbing." Walker placed his hand on the biometric scanner. The huge doors began to slide apart with a deep rumble that echoed through the underwater base. Beyond them lay humanity's greatest secret, a hangar bay larger than 3 aircraft carriers, housing vessels that would make the world's most advanced space programs look like children's toys. Above the ocean's surface, the Dominion scanners swept across the waters. In his command chair, Lord Commander Axis frowned at the readings. "There's an unusual energy signature coming from the Pacific region," he told his science officer. "What is it?" "Likely underwater volcanic activity," the officer replied. "These humans build their cities right on top of fault lines. Primitive fools." But deep below, more facilities were waking up. In the Mariana Trench, ancient factories began producing quantum-shielded torpedoes. Beneath the Arctic ice, automated defense systems powered up their targeting arrays. And in the Indian Ocean, a hidden shipyard prepared to launch vessels that had never seen combat outside of simulations. Admiral Reed's voice came through the secure channel at Site Omega. "Captain Walker, status report." "The Hyperion is ready, sir," Walker responded, looking up at his ship. The vessel was a masterpiece of human engineering, its dark hull designed to absorb both energy and attention. "Crew is boarding now. We can launch within the hour." "Good." The Dominion has begun moving smaller ships into low Earth orbit. They're positioning for a strike, exactly as we predicted. On the surface, the world continued its carefully choreographed dance of fear and confusion. News channels showed people panicking, stocking up on supplies, praying in churches and temples. Military bases made a show of mobilizing outdated aircraft and tanks. It was all part of the plan. Let the Dominion think their psychological warfare was working. In his quarters aboard the alien flagship, Lord Commander Axis reviewed the final invasion plans. "Their largest military installation is here." He pointed to a holographic map. "We'll strike there first, then their major cities. They'll surrender within hours." What his sensors couldn't detect was the web of quantum-entangled communications linking Earth's hidden bases. As the alien fleet moved into position, humanity's real defenders tracked their every move. "All stations report ready, Captain," Lisa announced on the Hyperion's bridge. The ship's crew sat at their stations, each trained since childhood for this moment. "Engineering reports the dark matter drive is stable." Walker took his command chair, feeling the subtle hum of power through the deck plates. "Begin launch sequence." Flood the hangar. Millions of gallons of seawater poured into the massive chamber. The Hyperion rose gently from its cradle, its systems fully active for the first time in its existence. Similar scenes played out in hidden bases across the globe as humanity's secret fleet prepared for war. "Admiral," Walker called over the secure channel, "the Hyperion is ready to surface on your command." In his Rocky Mountain Command Center, Reed watched as more Dominion ships entered Earth orbit. The aliens thought they were tightening a noose. Instead, they were walking into a trap 7 decades in the making. "Stand by, Captain," Reed ordered. "Let them make the first move. When they do," he smiled grimly, "show them what humanity has been hiding all these years." The trap was almost ready to spring. Humanity's greatest deception was about to become its greatest victory. The year was 1985. In a hidden bunker beneath the Nevada desert, Dr. Marcus Gray stared at the object that would change human history forever. The alien artifact sat on the examination table, its metallic surface still gleaming despite being buried for thousands of years. "Play the recording again," he told his assistant. The holographic message flickered to life, showing images of a war that had raged across the galaxy long before humans had learned to make fire. The Dominion had been ancient even then, conquering and destroying civilizations that refused to bow before them. But the message contained something else: detailed technical data about weapons, shields, and faster-than-light travel. It was a gift from the past, left by a dying race that had fought the Dominion to a standstill before finally falling. They had hidden similar caches of knowledge on thousands of worlds, hoping that one day someone would use it to stand against their ancient enemy. "Get me the president," Gray said, his hands trembling with excitement. "Operation Deep Shield needs to begin now." The next decade saw the greatest secret project in human history. While the world watched the Space Shuttle program and celebrated the International Space Station, humanity's real space program took shape in hidden facilities across the globe. The key, Gray explained to military leaders in 1990, is to hide in plain sight. Let everyone, including any watching aliens, think we're still struggling with basic rocketry. Meanwhile, we'll build our real fleet in secret. Scientists worked tirelessly to understand and improve upon the alien designs. The Cold War became a cover for massive resource mobilization. Both sides publicly rattled their nuclear sabers while privately working together to prepare Earth's defenses. "We found another one," reported a Soviet scientist in 1993, pulling a second artifact from the Siberian ice. More discoveries followed, one in the Mariana Trench, another beneath the Sahara, a fifth in Antarctica. Each contained new pieces of the puzzle. By 2000, the first true human spaceship was ready. The Hyperion's prototype took shape in an underwater facility, its systems far beyond anything the public thought possible. Dark matter drives, quantum shields, and weapons that could split atoms at a distance became reality. "We'll need more than just ships," Admiral Reed, then a young captain, had said during a planning session. "We need a way to hide an entire military-industrial complex from both our own people and any alien observers." The solution was brilliant in its simplicity. Hidden bases were built underwater, inside mountains, and beneath the polar ice. The public's attention was deliberately drawn to flashy but relatively primitive space programs. SpaceX and Blue Origin would eventually join the deception, their visible rockets serving as cover for the real advancement happening in secret. Dr. Gray didn't live to see the completion of his life's work. In 2015, on his deathbed, he spoke to Reed one last time. "The Dominion will come," he whispered. "The artifact showed us that. They always come. But for the first time in their history, they'll find a world that's ready for them." Reed stood now in that same Nevada bunker, looking at the artifact that had started everything. The hologram still worked, still showed the ancient war and the technical data that had given humanity a fighting chance. "Dr. Gray was right," he said to the empty room. "They did come. And we are ready." His tablet beeped with an alert. The Dominion ships were moving into attack position. Around the world, hidden bases reported full combat readiness. Humanity's real fleet, built over 70 years of secret preparation, was ready to reveal itself. Reed touched the artifact one last time. "Thank you," he whispered to the long-dead aliens who had given Earth this chance. Then he turned and headed for the command center. It was time to show the Dominion that they had made a terrible mistake in choosing Earth as their next target. The Dominion's attack began at dawn. Their energy weapons lit up the sky above New York, Tokyo, and London. Buildings crumbled and panic spread through the streets. On TV screens worldwide, the alien commander's message played on repeat. "Surrender now, and some of you may survive." Lord Commander Axis watched with satisfaction as Earth's primitive defense forces scrambled their aircraft. "Pathetic," he muttered, watching the outdated jets being swatted from the sky. "They don't even have basic shield technology." But deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Captain Walker stood on the Hyperion's bridge, watching the same scenes with cold determination. "All hands to battle stations," he ordered. "Reactor to full power. Commander Anna Stone's voice came through the quantum comm. "Pacific Fleet is ready, Captain. Just waiting for the signal." Her own vessel, hidden in the Mariana Trench, commanded a fleet of 30 ships that had never seen the light of day. The Dominion ships pressed their attack, moving lower into the atmosphere. Their sensors showed exactly what they expected: panicking humans, ineffective weapons, and no sign of any real resistance. Everything was going according to their plans. That's when Admiral Reed gave the order everyone had been waiting for. Operation Rising Thunder is now active. All fleets, surface and engage. The ocean began to boil. The Hyperion broke the surface first, water cascading from its massive hull. Its quantum shield snapped into place, creating a barrier that bent light around the ship. Behind it, more vessels emerged, destroyers, cruisers, and battleships that humanity had built in secret over decades. On the Dominion flagship's bridge, alarms screamed. "Unknown vessels detected." An officer shouted. "Energy readings are impossible." The Hyperion's first shot struck a Dominion cruiser dead center. The alien vessel's shields, considered impenetrable by most species, shattered like glass. The shot continued through, splitting the ship in half. "How?" Lord Commander Axis demanded, watching his supposedly superior forces being torn apart. "Their technology. They couldn't have." More surprises were coming. On the dark side of the moon, hidden doors opened in the lunar surface. Earth's Lunar Defense Fleet, commanded by veteran Captain Robert Drake, launched from bases that had been built in total secrecy. "Lunar Fleet is engaging," Drake reported. "The Dominion forces are caught between us and the surface fleet." Commander Stone's vessels spread out across the Pacific, their advanced weapons turning alien ships into orbital debris. Similar scenes played out worldwide as humanity's hidden forces revealed themselves. "All these years," Walker said from the Hyperion's bridge, watching a Dominion battleship try to retreat, "they thought they were watching us. But we were studying them, learning their weaknesses, preparing for exactly this moment." The aliens attempted to regroup, but Earth's forces had positioned themselves perfectly. Every escape route was cut off. Every attempt to call for reinforcements was jammed by technology reverse-engineered from their own ancient artifacts. Admiral Reed coordinated the attack from his mountain bunker. "Phase 2 is complete," he announced. "The enemy is contained. Begin Phase 3. On the Hyperion, Walker nodded to his weapons officer. "Target their flagship. Let's show them what humanity's primitive technology can really do." The ship's main weapon, powered by a miniature artificial sun, began to charge. Its design was based on technology that humanity had improved far beyond what the ancient artifacts had suggested was possible. Lord Commander Axis watched in horror as his invasion force, meant to subjugate another primitive world, instead faced the most sophisticated military force he had ever encountered. The humans had hidden their true capabilities perfectly, waiting for this exact moment to spring their trap. The battle for Earth was just beginning, but its outcome was already clear. The Dominion was about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating humanity. The space around Earth had become a graveyard of broken ships. The Dominion's once proud fleet scattered across the solar system, trying to escape the trap they had walked into. But humanity's hidden forces were everywhere, emerging from places the aliens had never thought to look. From his command chair on the Hyperion, Captain Walker tracked 3 enemy cruisers fleeing toward Mars. They're running straight into Admiral Taylor's strike force, he noted with grim satisfaction. The Mars Defense Fleet, hidden beneath the red planet's polar ice caps, had just powered up their engines. "Sir," Lisa called from her station, "we're detecting a massive energy spike from the Dominion flagship. They're charging something big." Lord Commander Axis had abandoned all pretense of superiority. "Launch the planet killer," he ordered, his voice shaking with rage. "If we cannot have this world, no one will." The flagship's hull split open, revealing a weapon that could crack a planet's crust. But Earth's defenders had prepared for even this. "Admiral Reed," Walker called through the quantum comm, They're bringing out their super weapon, requesting permission to activate the shield wall. Permission granted, Captain. Show them why we spent 30 years building it. Around the Earth, hidden satellites suddenly activated. Hundreds of them, disguised as space junk and broken satellites, powered up at once. Energy beams connected them, forming a glowing web around the planet. The Dominion's planet killer fired. Its beam, capable of destroying worlds, struck the shield wall and stopped. The energy was absorbed, redirected, and channeled back into Earth's defense grid. Impossible. Lord Commander Axis slammed his fist on his command chair. Their technology. It's more advanced than ours. In the skies above Mars, Admiral Taylor's fleet emerged from hiding. Red dust fell from their hulls as ships that had waited for decades finally entered combat. The Dominion cruisers, caught by surprise, didn't stand a chance. All ships pressed the advantage. Reed's voice came through to all Earth forces. Implementation of final protocol is authorized. Walker knew what that meant. Deep within the Hyperion, a special weapon powered up, one based on the most advanced designs found in the ancient artifacts. Target their flagship, he ordered. Let's end this. The battle had spread across the solar system. Near Venus, Commander Stone's Pacific Fleet had trapped a group of Dominion destroyers in the planet's orbital rings. The lunar defense batteries, hidden in crater shadows, picked off any alien ship that came too close to Earth's moon. They're trying to gather for a final push, Lisa reported, watching the enemy movements. Remaining Dominion forces are consolidating around their flagship. Lord Commander Axis made one last attempt to salvage his invasion. All ships concentrate fire on their command vessel. But humanity had learned from the ancient artifacts. Their ships carried quantum-linked shields, sharing power and protecting each other. The Dominion's attacks splashed harmlessly against defenses they couldn't understand. Weapon is charged, Walker's weapons officer reported. Ready to fire. The Hyperion's main gun activated, drawing power from its artificial sun core. The beam that emerged was unlike anything the Dominion had seen before, a combination of technologies from the artifacts and humanity's own innovations. It struck the Dominion flagship dead center. No shields could stop it. The massive alien vessel cracked open like an egg, its power core destabilizing. All ships, clear the area. Walker ordered as the flagship began to break apart. The remaining Dominion vessels, seeing their leader destroyed, started to retreat in panic. Admiral Reed's voice carried satisfaction as he gave his next order. Launch pursuit vessels. Don't let them mourn their empire. Today, humanity doesn't just defend Earth. We show the galaxy that the age of the Dominion is over. The battle for Sol was ending, but humanity's emergence as a galactic power was just beginning. Commander Stone watched from her bridge as the Dominion fleet fell into chaos. With their flagship destroyed and their supreme commander presumably dead, the alien ships scattered like leaves in a storm. But humanity's hidden fleets moved with practiced precision, the result of decades of preparation. They're making a run for the Jupiter defense line, her tactical officer reported, right where we want them. For 70 years, humanity had prepared more than just ships and weapons. They had turned the entire solar system into one giant trap. Now that trap was about to snap shut. Signal the Jupiter stations. Admiral Reed's voice came through the quantum comm. Operation Dead End is now active. In the space around Jupiter, seemingly innocent research stations suddenly transformed. Solar panels folded away, revealing weapon ports. Communication dishes became targeting arrays. Even the small mining operations on Jupiter's moons showed their true purpose as massive gun batteries emerged from beneath the icy surface. By all the stars, a Dominion captain transmitted in panic, "This whole system is a fortress." On the Hyperion, Captain Walker organized the final phase. "All ships, form up on my position. Don't let any of them escape through the outer system. They've seen too much of our capabilities." The remaining Dominion ships found themselves caught between the incoming Earth fleet and the newly revealed Jupiter defenses. Their supposedly superior technology meant nothing now. Humanity had spent decades studying the ancient artifacts, improving upon their designs, and preparing countermeasures for every Dominion weapon and tactic. Multiple ships powering up their faster-than-light drives. Lisa reported from her station. They're desperate to escape. Not today, Walker replied calmly. Activate the quantum disruption field. Another secret weapon revealed itself. Hidden satellites around the solar system's edge powered up, creating a field that made faster-than-light travel impossible within the system. The Dominion ships were trapped. In his mountain bunker, Admiral Reed watched the tactical display with satisfaction. 70 years, he said quietly. 70 years of hiding our strength, of letting them think we were primitive. And now they understand why. The battle had become a cleanup operation. Earth's forces moved with devastating efficiency, their quantum targeting systems making every shot count. The Dominion's remaining ships, their shields useless against weapons they didn't understand, began surrendering one by one. Sir, Commander Stone called to Admiral Reed, we're picking up transmissions between the enemy ships. They're sharing information about us with each other, about our level of technology. Good, Reed replied. Let them learn. Let them understand exactly how badly they underestimated us. The truth spread through the enemy ranks like wildfire. Earth hadn't just prepared defenses. They had created technology that surpassed the Dominion's capabilities in many areas. The ancient artifacts had given humanity a foundation, but human innovation had built something far beyond their original designs. Captain Walker's voice came through the comm. Admiral, we've captured 3 of their command ships intact. The data in their computers will be invaluable. Excellent work, Captain. Begin final containment procedures. I don't want a single enemy ship escaping to warn their empire. Not yet. Not until we're ready to take the fight to them. The remaining battle was short. Trapped, outgunned, and facing technology they couldn't counter. The last Dominion ships surrendered. Earth's first major space battle was ending in a total victory. As the quantum disruption field powered down, Admiral Reed sent one final message to all Earth forces, to all ships and stations. Well done. Today marks not just our victory, but our emergence as a power that the galaxy will have to reckon with. The Dominion came expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, they found their worst nightmare, a humanity that was ready and waiting for them. The solar system fell quiet again, but it would never be the same. The secret was out. Humanity had revealed its true strength, and the galaxy would soon learn just how powerful Earth had become. 2 weeks after the battle, Admiral Reed stood at a podium in front of the United Nations. The room was packed with representatives from every nation, along with several captured Dominion officers who had survived the battle. Screens worldwide broadcast his speech to billions of waiting humans. For 70 years, he began, we kept the greatest secret in human history. Today, that secret ends. Behind him, massive screens showed images of Earth's true space fleet. The Hyperion floated majestically above the planet, no longer hidden beneath the ocean. Ships emerged from their secret bases on Mars and the Moon, their advanced technology now visible to all. We knew they were coming, Reed continued, thanks to ancient warnings left by those who fought the Dominion before us. But unlike those who came before, we had time to prepare, time to build, time to surpass even the technology they left for us. In orbit, Captain Walker oversaw the cleanup operation. Pieces of destroyed Dominion ships were being collected for study. The captured vessels held secrets that would help humanity prepare for what was coming next. The Dominion will retaliate, Commander Stone said during the Emergency Military Council. Their empire spans thousands of worlds. They won't take this defeat lightly. Let them come, Walker replied, standing by the Hyperion's viewport. We're done hiding, done pretending to be weak. The next time they face us, we'll be even stronger. On Earth, people were still adjusting to the truth, the secret space program, the hidden technology, the decades of preparation. It was almost too much to believe, but the evidence floated in the sky above them, visible to anyone with a telescope. To the people of Earth, Reed addressed the cameras directly. You have questions. Why keep this secret? Why maintain the deception for so long? The answer is simple. Surprise was our greatest weapon. The Dominion never suspected that beneath our primitive exterior lay a force ready to meet them in battle. In the coming days, more secrets were revealed. Hidden bases opened their doors. Scientists showed off technology that seemed like magic to the public. Quantum shields, dark matter drives, artificial gravity. SpaceX and Blue Origin admitted their public rocket programs had been part of the deception, a cover for the real space program happening in secret. The captured Dominion officers were interviewed. We've conquered 1,000 worlds, one admitted, but never encountered anything like this. You didn't just match our technology. You surpassed it, improved it. The Empire, they won't know what to do about Earth. Admiral Reed's final announcement brought the greatest cheer. As of today, Earth is no longer pretending. Our ships will patrol openly. Our bases will operate in full view, and to any power that thinks to test us. He paused, looking directly at the Dominion officers. Remember what happened to those who try to conquer us. The Hyperion led a parade of ships past the moon, showing off Earth's power to any watching eyes in the galaxy. Humanity's greatest deception had become its greatest triumph. In his private office later, Reed looked at the ancient artifact that had started it all. Its warning about the Dominion had given Earth the time it needed to prepare. But humanity had done more than just prepare. They had innovated, improved, and created technology that even the artifact's creators hadn't imagined. Send the message to all commands, he told his aide. Operation Rising Thunder is complete. Begin Operation Starshield. He smiled, looking at the stars through his window. It's time to show the galaxy that a new power has risen. Earth is ready to take its place among the stars. The age of hiding was over. The age of humanity had begun.